Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. I'm working on Inktober again today. The prompt is swollen, and at first all I could think of was like gross, someone got beat up or something kind of things. I didn't really want to draw that. Then I realized that it could also apply to something that is I guess normal, that happens to something, living creature, and that is the frogs that have the pouches. I guess they're called vocal sacs, because I was looking up reference images and I finally found the terminology. They puff out and get swollen with air as they, do their frog chirping. So that's what I'm going to draw today. I'm debating between doing my typical graphite sketch first, because I did not give myself time to do a sketch before the stream, or just do a sort of rough sketch using ink and then use more ink to refine it. And that would be something different that I haven't done yet. I'm halfway through the prompts I'm going to be doing, since I'm not doing the weekend prompts. But I could end up making it so muddy with ink as I try to refine it. Maybe I'll just do the most basic pencil sketch I can first. So it's one thing with the golem yesterday to just draw it without a sketch, but that doesn't need to look like anything. All it needed to look like yesterday was a bunch of rocks. That's easy enough to draw, because you can draw a rock one way and you can draw it a totally different way and it still looks like a rock. But with a frog, it really needs to look like a frog. So I think I'm probably better off doing a sketch. I just don't want to take too much time doing the sketches and have a little bit of a struggle with that whenever I don't do the sketch ahead of time. But there's just other stuff I've got to be doing. With the holidays approaching very fast, I really need to update my online shops, and I've been working on that this week. Need to get new listings up, revise old listings, etc. So, and then I, of course, have other art projects that I'm working on, and those have deadlines as well. It's all part of the challenge of Inktober. It's a challenge to fit this in and get it done every day without sacrificing time for other stuff. At least with the frog, if it's not 100% accurate, it'll still look like a frog. So its feet are kind of hard to see in this picture because they're kind of the same color as the ground. So let's see, the leg goes up here, and it's got its belly, its little round belly, and like that. But then let's see, so the mouth ends right there, and the eyes there. That's about where the arm starts. So then let's do this up and around for the front leg. And the way the legs are, they're actually angled. I should have started this a little higher. Okay, it'll be okay. So this is a toe. Goes in, comes across the webbing. And the middle toe is super long. Super long toe. It's really hard to tell what it's doing up here. There's definitely another toe. And again, it's sort of It's really dark in here. I can't tell what's happening. The foot, how this is working. Probably good enough though. Now let's draw the rest of this arm. The arm is really thick. Actually kind of cool. I like how it looks. Palm of the hand and the outside toe, and it's really like like that. Okay, there's that one. And this one, a little less extreme, but it does come down like that. Seems thinner than this other toe too. And I can't really see anything else on this picture, so I'm just going to draw those two. Now, for the actual whole reason I'm drawing this frog, it's big balloon vocal sac. And it comes out from the front arm. See, I'm going to mark this spot. So the bottom is about here. The top comes out right here. And it's like a big circle around here. The outermost part is right here, and then maybe this distance. Let me see. It's a little short. It's about half the distance. It's about half this distance. So that is out there. So right here. I'm just gonna make it kind of a circle. It's not a perfect circle. It's a little bit oblong, but it's really circular still. And it connects with the curve of this arm. Checking real quick to see if my video is frozen. It's too bad that I can't just rely on my streaming software to do what it's supposed to. I have to constantly looking up. And this is coming out pretty good. So its pupil is this shape. Whatever this shape is, and it's got one nostril here, and the other nostril is about at the height of this eye, and maybe right in the middle right here. Belly, you can actually see it on both sides of the front arm. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough to start. So I think maybe I still will go with a little bit sketchy kind of look. Just because I feel like it. Just because I feel like this is a good look. Just to start with. Sketchy to start. always doing more precise type drawing, so it's kind of a, I guess it's just a break from the norm. Do stuff like this. Now, I want to make sure to put outlines here. Highlights that I'm seeing there. Big highlight on the top of the eye, and then also, I suppose it's some reflected light in the right in the pupil. This frog is reminding me of Furupi from My Hero Academia, and there's something I think a lot of people don't notice about her character design. Since she's based on a frog, she has really big hands and feet. But a lot of times when I see fan art of her, they either forgot or they just never noticed that she is purposefully, it's not just a stylistic choice, she has been purposefully designed to have really big hands and feet. And that makes perfect sense, since she's supposed to have a frog quirk, so she has whatever a frog can do, and whatever a frog is, basically. So she's got long tongue, she goes into hibernation when she starts to get cold. So why not also the feet? Okay, that's good for the sketchy start. I want to erase these lines. I did my very best to do minimal lines here so that I wouldn't take too much time doing pencil. Since it's Inktober, I want to be focused on the ink, at least for my live stream videos. It's always easier to work fast when you're drawing something more generic, like just a type of animal, rather than, for parallel example, a specific, like someone's pet. So if you're just trying to draw a Labrador, it's faster because you don't have to be super precise. But if you're drawing this person's Labrador and it needs to look like that particular dog, then of course it takes a lot longer. Let's see. Guess the next thing I'll do is anywhere that needs actual black, so inside this pupil. And then the outline of the eye is actually pretty, it's like got a black rim. I won't do any right up here where this shiny is, and this top shiny is. That way it'll help emphasize that that's supposed to be a highlight. There's also some pretty dark areas around the nose. super dark, so maybe a little bit right here on this eye. Might end up working a lot with this. Oh, I have an idea. A good idea. So the way this frog is, it's mostly greenish and yellow along here, and then right here, and kind of flows down. There's this pattern of markings, and there's a little bit on the arm too, and then it really delineates between the underside, which is sort of like a, I don't know, tan, pinky brown, and then the top, which is yellow green. So I'm going to use this brush pen to get like a nice exaggerated organic looking like that. It's cool. Where else can I do this? On the arm. Kind of on the outside of the leg here. And there's a lot of pattern in the eye, so I'm going to use the brush tip to get some cool looking patterns in here. Sweet. My hands are so cold. I don't know if you can hear the heater fan I've got going. It's so cold today. And this is probably the warmest room in the house because I have my computer going all the time, and then once I come in here for work, I've got all these lights on and everything because I just need to be as bright as possible to work. So it gets really warm, and even then it's just so cold that my hands just are not warming up. I've got the heater right here next to me. So I haven't been using these out of this group of inking tools that I've been using alternating with my ArtSnacks. I haven't been using these too much, and I think it's because the chisel tip is really, you got to know exactly what you're going to do with it. So maybe I will use it to add some dark lines underneath to give weight to the bottom of the frog. I want to use it kind of in the way that it's meant to be used, because it's actually a calligraphy pen. So like keeping it the same rather than, I don't know if you can see how the tip is flat, rather than turning it so the line stays the same no matter what, keep the pen the same, and as I move it, and then it will have a thick or thin line. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that well. Maybe this shows it. See, I kept the pen the same, but because I did this curve, the line got bigger. texture right here is really dark, so I'm going to fill it all the way in. Sometimes try turning it on its side to get like a tiny line out of just one corner of this flat tip, but it doesn't usually like that. I guess I could do some sort of like additional stuff at the end using these to get just some effect lines or something. Still have quite a bit of time. Just keeping my eye on the clock so that I don't go over my time, because I got to be really precise today. I have a lot of work today. Really can't go over my stream time today. This wash pen is super cool. I really like it. I think maybe I'll use it in this sack because it's translucent. So this frog actually has a blackish background, like there's a little plant right here, but for the most part it's black, and you can see a lot of dark right there. So maybe I'll just use this, get some organic. And then right here. Guess I'm gonna need to do the background as well, or else it doesn't make sense. It doesn't give the right effect. Doesn't give the idea of it being translucent if you can't see what it's trying to show you through the translucence. Oops, got my mouth a little bit. This on purpose to get this nice texture out of it. That's pretty sweet. fill this a little bit. Thought I'd leave the ground light, but I realize the ground's pretty dark too. So I may as well fill up the whole page. Really rough with the brush, but it's for good reason. Get that cool texture out of it. I think I'm just going to do some hatching. I love hatching. Those look so cool. Do a little bit in here too. some slightly bigger hatching in this sack here. Now I'm trying to get the texture, some of these textures I'm seeing. The bottom of the frog is kind of bumpy actually. And there are areas where the skin is stretching and you can see it. I'm just playing around with effects lines, seeing what I can do. I want to bring attention to the swollen part, since that's the theme. Maybe I'll get this permanent ink out. Do a little bit with this. I'm noticing there's a lot of speckling on the vocal sac, so I think I'll just do a little stippling with this color. Oops, I spit on my picture. And try to imitate that stippling. It's a lot harder to see on this dark part, so I'll just do it on the light parts here. This bullet tip is actually making a smaller mark than I expected. I'm really happy with that. Right here, it's kind of a golden outline. I'm just going to draw a line around it. Add a little of this color to the eye as well. It's a similar color. So I'll do the same thing with this gold. wonder if I should stick with that or do a little bit of green metallic marker. There's my swatches. These colors are actually pretty muted, so I don't know if I should add them or just stick with it. I do kind of like this green, so I'll use a little bit of this lighter green just along the edges and stuff. You can't even really tell that it's green. Well, I'll do this pink one too. The lower half has a pink tint to it. I think I might finish early today. Maybe the only thing is I would like it to stand out a little more against the background. Oh, this is the gray wash, black pen, the black brush pen. Oh, there. That's much better. Looking at my screen to get a different perspective. Yep. Maybe just a little bit right here to show what's leg and what's foot. And this in a little bit. I like this sketchy style I went with today. It's nice and fun. So the subject is kind of stationary, not really doing anything. Okay, I'm calling it good. Next, let's just write my little stuff that I always write on it, Inktober, etc. So I'll write it up here. What is it? Day 17. Boom! Now I actually have to sign this too. Yay! Another one finished! There's not that many left to go, less than 2. Actually, exactly 2 work weeks now that I've finished this one left to go. So that means 2 more days this week. I'll be doing Inktober. I'll be back again, same channel, same time. Thank you for watching.